Hey, Inspired Tribe, my fellow freedom lovers. It's John Nolan here. Now listen to this again. My fellow freedom lovers. This is very, very important. I do think we need to talk. This cannot wait. And this is truly urgent. We need to have this conversation because in the plethora of things that are going on every day, things kind of drift amiss, and then when the time comes, we're not really paying attention to very important things. So with that being said, let me welcome you all in a live chat. I see Freedom, I see Merlin Head. Thank you for tuning in. Truth Seekers here, Johnny's here. Good to see you all. I want to say we're healthy, we're wealthy, we're whole, we're free. That's what we're working on every day. It's an exciting week at Inspired. Yesterday we had David Icke. Coming up is Theo Fleury. It's an exciting interview. We have Kathy O'Brien coming up with Gareth Icke coming up. Jamie, good to see you. Robert, good to see you. Lucas, good to see you. Oliver, welcome. Barbara, welcome everyone on Rumble and here on YouTube. So, okay. Yesterday, and this is I'm just going to tell you what I think is coming down the pipe, okay? Yesterday, London Real, you all probably know the London Real channel. Brian Rose, he was on the map for a lot of people before 2020, but it was especially his interviews with David Icke that I think put the channel in, on the radar for many in the truth and freedom community. So yesterday, London Real was terminated from YouTube after having been shadow banned and for the last years, first demonetized and shadow banned and now deleted due to violations of YouTube's guidelines. So approximately 2.3 million subscribers yesterday got disenfranchised. Their subscription, their choice, their preference, their interests do not matter. This is something that we have, which is horrible, grown accustomed to, and we are now in a world where you and I are not surprised when this happens. We're not shocked. We don't lose it when it happens. We used to get shocked. We used to have this feeling of what in the world's going on? Where's that channel gone? We don't have it anymore because it's happened so often. It hasn't just happened to the very well-known people, to the doctors that were once celebrated. Our friend Dr. Northrup is now completely banned from this platform to an extent that is crazy. David Icke lost millions of following. Alex Jones. And the list is huge. And it doesn't matter whether you like or dislike these people, whether you think they're good or bad, right or wrong. That's not what this is about. I believe with what is unfolding regarding the CC, the climate change debate, with what is unfolding regarding the new and the new wave that is supposed to come out regarding everything, the ban on a free stream of information, let me put it that way, is going to be incrementally and exponentially worse than what we've ever seen before. Laws are now activated in the European Union that basically prevent for a free stream of information to reach the user online. And they're making platforms who pretend not to be publishers liable for content they leave up. We continually receive messages from countries like France that they can't access Rumble, not our channel, not a video, but the whole platform they can't access because Rumble so far is not playing ball. What does this mean? I'm asking you something, and I'm going to go back to the YouTube London Real YouTube channel. Who exactly determines whether you are allowed to hear or see something? Who has the authority to tell you that you're not even allowed to see it and make up your own mind? And that whoever determines what you're allowed to see is smarter, more intelligent, more educated, and knows better than you. This is the debate that no one is having. And I can't believe the amount of otherwise seemingly educated and intelligent people who go online, who go on TV and absolutely speak for censorship. which in a one instant gives them the stamp of being complete and utter idiots and morons and not understanding what is being done to them. Because when they say, when someone goes on TV and says, listen, I think that some entity that I've never met, never seen, because nobody knows who the people are behind these YouTube guidelines, ultimately who the humans are coming up with this, the lawyers, the attorneys, and who else, right? I trust these people over my own judgment that I've never met, never known. I trust the government, some bureaucrats never elected for, over my own judgment and my own ability to discern information. This has gotten so bad that in America, that on paper, and if we believe it to be true, still has a First Amendment, free speech, where now the speech is prevented. It's not that it's later criticized. It's not that it's later ostracized. All of this is legitimate. You can go and criticize speech. You can go and call it whatever you want to call it, but to not let it be spoken. This is where you tell everybody, listen, you don't have a brain, you don't have a mind, you don't have discernment. And this is a principled, a philosophical, a principled and a spiritual debate that nobody seems to be having. But what I'm predicting is, because these platforms are so aligned, so in sync, and so in the pocket of the puppet masters, that you are going to see a level of deletion and censorship unlike anything you've ever seen. And it will be very much reminiscent of the open communist and socialist regimes. And it will be very reminiscent of what you used to learn in history class about past dictatorships. The thing is, they're flooding the digital world with content that is supposed to distract you from the fact that a lot of other content is simply gone. And we saw this coming, and we've been working on it. That's why, Christine and I, over the last, and a team around us, thankfully so, but over the last 4 or 5 months and longer in terms of research, we put in an amazing amount of work, love, energy, and money to build something that looks like a regular website, but has multiple functions, like many others did, by the way. Yesterday, we had a long conversation, even off camera, with David Icke. They built Iconic, a very, very robust and sovereign platform for information. That's what Alex Jones did a long time ago with InfoWars, a very robust platform. But we had to go, and here's what I want you to listen to me, please, because it does affect you, even if you are not someone who's out there speaking about things. Listen to me for whatever purposes you want to use the internet, because I needed to explain this. We have a website, theinspiredchannel.com, that serves as a platform, but we didn't go and use WordPress or used any of the big website builders. Like, they have these template builder website, look amazing. But all of these website builders, these templates, have user agreements, software agreements, licensing agreements. As soon as you put in some AI gimmick that's on your website that looks great, it has a licensing agreement. WordPress itself has a licensing agreement because the servers they operate on have restrictions. So we moved everything to the best of our ability on sovereign ground where we don't have any of these licensing agreements. That is why we feel positive that we can weather some storms. We probably can weather a huge hurricane right now because we're not there yet, but we're working on it. But here's what matters to us. You matter to us, not because we need to stay speaking. You decided and chose that we will have a relationship and a connection. And you deserve the truth. I'm biting my tongue so often when I'm on certain platforms, and it's not healthy, it's not good, and you don't deserve that. And this is something that's important to me. You really don't deserve that. You don't deserve to guess what I was really wanting to say. And it is a sad, sad testament of what kind of times we live in that this has to happen. But it is opening eyes and ears, and this is why I wanted to do this live stream. I encourage you to please have these conversations with people that disagree with you on subjects, and ask them, how did they ever come to the information to disagree with you? There was a level of freedom and free access to information that allowed them to build and form an opinion, even if you disagree with that opinion, and I may too. But their sources of information will eventually be taken away too from them. It is always that way. Those who help bring in the dictatorship eventually suffer from it just like the rest. And this is where we need to have these conversations now. We need to really be adults, right? Because the print media, books in general, publishing houses have very much been, on the way out. A lot of people couldn't afford anymore to print newspapers, and I'm not saying they did a good job at it, but now the printing industry is dead, all but dead, and you have a digital industry that is in the hands of a very few people. It looks like all these websites and all these platforms are all independent, but they are really owned by a handful of huge funds and huge companies, BlackRock, Vanguard, and a few others that are controlling this whole game, and they are controlling the stream of information. Now let that sink in, because when the next whatever cycle hits, and we already see the writing on the wall, you are going to see a deletion like never before. I can promise you this is what's going to happen. They went for the quote unquote radicals. They went for the rebels. We have woken up, Christine and I and our team, twice or three times, I believe, to a completely deleted channel, gone, as if it had never existed. And I want you to think of something. Imagine you're building something, whether that's something in your profession, in your job. You're building a business, or you're building a house, or you're building an organization, a movement, something to help people, whatever it is, doesn't matter. And you have put in years, and you wake up one morning and it's all gone, as if it had never existed. Imagine what that feels like, because we went through it about 3 times, I'm telling you, and it felt horrible. Not the third time, because we learned how to deal with and cope with it. But we decided that we will not just give in, because what we've been told over and over again by well-meaning advisors is just adjust the content. What do you mean adjust the content? You either say the truth the way you see it, or you don't. There's only the two ways. I can either sit here and speak truthfully, honestly, and authentically from my heart and to the best of my knowledge to you, or I don't say the truth. There's only the two ways. So I can't adjust my content and who I am. So we have to adjust the way we communicate it and put it out there. And so what I'm asking you to do will not cost you a cent, I promise you, because we understand that it is important to make as much information available, at least free of monetary charge, right? I understand that, and there's a debate about this, trust me, in all circles, because it is not free for us to make it. And that's also something I need to say. We can't do it on our own. We have a team. They all need to get paid, and they need to pay their bills just like you and I. So, but nonetheless, we're trying to find ways to make information, inspiration, and that stream available to as many people as possible, free of charge. So when you go to our website, we put the link in the description, and you sign up. What that means is you allow us. You only give us your email address, by the way. You allow us to send you videos to your inbox as they are released, good interviews, information, without us having to rely on algorithms. That's all. That's all that we ask you to do. So we can go and say, hey, if you're interested, here's a great interview with David Icke, just in case YouTube is not showing you the preview, just in case the algorithm does not want you to see it. Please, I encourage you, if you're inspired by what we do, or if you enjoy or find it valuable, please hop over. The link is in the description on the inspiredchannel.com. There's a subscribe button, and just give us your email address so we can send you that stuff. I know, I understand, in a world of being bombarded with information, you have to make a choice whom you want to stay in touch with. I get that. So make that choice, but also understand from our perspective, and from the people that are out there researching, looking, connecting the dots, and bringing people together, interviewing people, and creating a stream of information, that for us too, it is important to stay connected, not just for the sake of this being the Inspired channel. We're human beings. We also desire to have that interaction. Trust us, going through your comments, reading from you, and sometimes you're so honest. This means the world to us. We're human beings. It's a heart-to-heart connection, and knowing that we're in this together sometimes helps us through a dark hour. Trust us, we're human beings. Sometimes we feel down, and then knowing that there is a tribe, a family, a clan, a nation of us, if you will, now whatever you want to call it, out there, and we are connected by some of the same principles and values, and we're in this together, it means something to us. It means the world to us, to be quite honest. And we desire to keep this connection intact. So I'm sad. I was sad to see London Real being deleted yesterday. I appreciate watching Brian Rose's journey, all through the years, from where he started to what he built. I'm not always on the same page with him. See, that's not the point. I'm not always on the same page with Alex Jones, but it's not about that. It's about me having subscribed to that channel, and I was interested in having the choice to listen or not listen. I wanted to either pay attention or not. I don't want somebody else telling me what I can or cannot watch. I'm a viewer too. I'm a listener too. And yesterday, I was one of the 2.3 or so million disenfranchised people because some unknown figure somewhere in the deep bureaucracy that is Google has decided that they know better than I or you what we can or cannot see. And this is happening at every social media platform. This is happening at every big media company. This is happening in our governments. This is happening at every agency. This is happening on absolutely every level. And we need to understand what is going on. We already have a fake history. And now that fake history and the glimpses of truth that are in there, the little pieces, are being rewritten and deleted. So we don't even have the breadcrumbs anymore. That's what's really happening. That is what's really happening. And while you might see it on the surface, you see it on the screen, we have actually connected with some of these brave people over the last years that have spoken out, that have risked everything. Dr. Northrup, I talk about her a lot because she's a dear friend. She put everything on the line. And she was a rebel before, but nothing like the last 3 years. She put everything on the line. Why? She paid her own way everywhere she went. Every freaking event she spoke at, she paid for her flight, her hotel, her meals, her everything. Right? She put everything on the line. She's not supported by her former publisher anymore, who said, you either follow our guidelines, here's what you need to say, here's what you need to do, or we're seizing our operations and our support. What did she do? She did the only thing that was right, and she spoke the truth the way she saw it, and she continues to every day. But let me tell you something. She's a human being. This is her story. She had 40 years or 30 years, a career as an author, as a doctor, as someone in a public eye, known by millions of people around the world. And she did not hesitate. She did not weigh pros and cons. She did not consider going along with the lies. Now that's true bravery, but it cost her dearly. And I think you need to hear this. It cost her dearly on many levels. It cost her in relationships, friendships, even within family. Cost her financially, like everybody who's been speaking out. For some reason, people think this is a millionaire business. Well, for some it might be, but it's not why people speak out. At least not if you're really following the truth. At least not if that's what you really want. And I'm always inspired because if you want to see someone who has never wavered, even in the most horrific of circumstances, look at David Icke, look at Kathy O'Brien, look at Dr. Northrup, look at these people. I mean, imagine being called on CNN and all the mainstream media in front of all the people you used to work with. The disinformation dozen. And people spitting on her in public, calling her the most horrible names on planes. This is the price that some of these people paid in order for you and me to get information that we otherwise wouldn't have. And I'm thankful for that. I appreciate that. We appreciate you very much. We understand that over the last years, we've asked you to jump platforms with us. We've asked you to come over to Locals, which we love because people can connect and people continually come there for our Coffee and Truth live streams. Continually come there to share with each other, to connect with each other, even start businesses with each other. We've asked you to make these changes and jumps, and we understand that sometimes it can be overwhelming. Oh my God, I'm signed up here, I'm signed up there. I get that. But I think it's just the times we're in. This is transformation. And we can't stay stagnant. We can't stay doing the same things we have been doing, or we will end up where we always ended up. So it's not just us. Other people that you trust, maybe, that you love, that you follow, connect with, they will ask you to please watch on our website or sign up for a newsletter or whatever that is. Just consider the whole picture. Just consider the whole picture and what that means, and why it is maybe important that we support each other, right? So we just wanted to say that. And also a fair word of warning. There is a wave of deletion coming. We can see the writing on the wall, and it's going to eventually include the platforms that we all thought might be untouchable. Eventually, when they get big enough, there's a lot of pressure. What we can do is support those who stand for freedom, stand for no censorship, and the truth. That's what we need to do, to the best of our ability every single day. Every single day, to the best of our ability, we need to do that. I can't tell you that we have the truth. Well, all I can tell you is that that is the intention every single time. If we get it wrong, we'll correct ourselves. And the truth also is, like David Icke says, it's an onion that we keep peeling back the layers from until we get to the core of it. That being said, David Icke is coming up in these next days. The full interview will be on our website, theinspiredchannel.com, free to watch. Theo Fleury, former NHL superstar, world champion, a gold medalist, all-star, Stanley Cup winner, amazing life story, very inspiring, coming up on theinspiredchannel.com, free of charge. Kathy O'Brien, MK Ultra survivor, amazing, amazing human being and a dear friend of ours, coming up on theinspiredchannel.com. Just recently, we had Dr. Northrup, we had Greg Braden, Frank Jacobs coming up too, and it's all going to be there. We're going to let you know about it here. And if you will and allow us, click that subscribe button down there and just put in your email so we can send you an email free of charge, and you just hear about new stuff when it comes out. That's all we're asking. And the last thing, I'm going to repeat myself on this. Please talk to your children, your grandchildren. Talk to them. Talk to them about the importance of truth, of free speech, what that means. Free speech requires the highest form of responsibility. It's not for lemmings. It's for spiritual and adults and human beings who understand the responsibility. And then we can, naturally, you will have bad apples, but we can counter that with better speech. Bad speech is countered with better speech. It's just that simple. This is important. We're at this juncture. We're fighting this battle for the very identity, for the very freedoms that we have. And also, somebody emailed us this yesterday, actually. And here, I want to put something out. There are people coming from this year to our YATO retreat that's happening from October 5th through 8th. They're coming from all over the world. They're traveling from Asia. They're traveling from Europe. And some people are already have been notified by their governments that travel restrictions will be in place. This is another form of restricting movement, restricting freedom. But nonetheless, I want you to know we will hold this retreat. We held it over the last 3 years through the conditions that we had, and we always showed up. And this retreat is something I so look forward to, that over the next 4 weeks in preparation, I'm absolutely cleaning up anything in my diet that doesn't work. I'm increasing the amount of perfect water the most perfect water that I can find. We're really priming our body or spirit for this amazing experience that we're all going to have. We're going deep with a group of people, really deep in connection with the highest self and life's purpose. It's one of our favorite things that we do all year. We only do it twice. It's so intense, but those who show up, we're giving our all, they're giving their all, and it's just amazing. And if this speaks to you, if this strikes a chord with you, if you feel something inside of you says yes, go to our website, links in the description, go to YATO Retreat, YATO. It's on our website right there, and just see if this speaks to you. That's all we're asking. Because we always say this, people that are 80% there and feel 80% ready, nope, don't come yet. 90% ready, no, don't come yet. If you're 100% ready, we would love to have you, because that 100% allows us in this small group of people to really go deep. And we want to go deep. We want to transcend the limitations. We want to leave our habits at the door. We want to leave our everyday thoughts at the door, and we want to go deeper and stronger and more connected than ever before. That's what we do. So if that speaks to you, let us know. Check it out. We'd love to have you. There's a few slots left, but we're close to getting sold out because we cap it off. We want to have this intimate experience with a intimate group of people. All righty. Thank you so much for tuning in. Much love. Many blessings. We love you. We appreciate you. These are not just lines that we say. As a matter of fact, how we can serve our community and how we can give more or better is at the top of our list every day, Christine and I, and we talk about you guys on all our walks. We take you with us wherever we go, and this connection matters deeply to us. So thank you. Much love, many blessings. We'll be back with you soon.